On this episode here, we'll be talking about how to pass cloud certification without real world experience. So, on this program, we discuss the strategies on your journey of how to reach $10,000 a month. So, if you are not from IT or not, and through this from cloud computing certification. So I am Guilherme Teles, and today we are going to talk about how to pass cloud certification without real world experience. Okay, so let's get started. It's no secret that AWS certifications are in high demand, and for a good reason. Cloud computing is a very hot topic that is not going anywhere anytime soon, and there is currently a shortage of talent that fill the gap. So the interesting dichotomy here about many jobs and certifications is that most jobs require certification to demonstrate your competency, but most certifications recommend having hands-on work experience to better prepare to pass them. So, you might be thinking to yourself, how can I break into the IT market and get certified when all job advertisement and all job posts need certifications, but all certifications recommend having work experience? The good news is that experience is a subjective term. Also, if you can demonstrate relevant skills in a chat with the interviewer, because cloud computing jobs are in high demand, most employers are willing to train you on exactly what they require of you. A good employer will anyway. So let's go. What is cloud computing for first start? Getting started with the cloud can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be. The first step is to understand the basics. We have to learn what the cloud is, how it works, and the benefits. Next, we will take a look at different types of cloud computing and the basic cloud service to help you start making sense of large amounts of data, innovate faster, handle sudden changes in demand, and much more. So let's start with the basic. Advantage of cloud computing. It is scalable and high performance. Your application can scale up or down based on demand using AWS outscaling and elastic load balance resources. So the backend, backed by Amazon massive infrastructure, you have access to compute and storage resources when you need them. On this journey, you have the opportunity to reduce costs. So this is a very good opportunity because of the long-term data centers contracts that you might or your company might have. So you can move faster, develop new skills, and provide more reliable and globally available services to your customers. So companies now that haven't yet started on their journey are considering how they will introduce to the cloud in their existing environments. So this is the great shift when we talk about the pre-pandemic from the COVID-19 to where we are right now. So most of the companies they learn about remote work, they learn about cloud environments, and certifications, it's not a new term in the market right now. The IT certification has been a long time. I talk for myself. I've been doing IT certification since 2001, and it helped me achieve good contracts, good jobs, and of course good salaries. So this is very good. So when we talk about AWS certification, we need to understand what is AWS certification. AWS certification is nothing more than a test that you can take online wherever you are in the comfort from your home or at an accredited training center. And the certification exam is very similar to any exam you might have taken. It is formed by a set of questions with multiple choice answers to be done in a given time. So, AWS certification types, but choosing the AWS certification path that's right for you will depend on where you are starting right now and where you want to end up. So if you're new to AWS, if you're new to IT, you should start right now studying for the Cloud Practitioner exam called AWS CCP. It's the letters that stand for Certified Cloud Practitioner. From there, those looking to master AWS may want to earn three basic AWS certification, the three basic associated ones. So, take a skill self-assessment to identify your knowledge or skill gaps and the path you want to take. You can do this self-assessment by going to the AWS website and download the guideline for each exam. I recommend that you start with the Cloud Practitioner. So, when we talk about, for example, the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate, at this certification level, you must demonstrate knowledge of how to design, how to manage, and how to deploy AWS applications and tools. IT professionals earning these certifications must have the ability to design and deploy highly scalable systems available on AWS and understand the concepts of security, disaster recovery, troubleshooting, and nothing else. Why not required? It is recommended that those seeking this certification have at least 1 year of hands-on experience designing and deploying high fault tolerant and scalable AWS system. We will talk about this 1 year, okay? AWS Certified SysOps Administrator Associate. This certification provides knowledge of operations and deployment of AWS services and architecture, including data migration and application deployment. But this certification, I have done this a couple of years ago. This is highly focused on monitoring and observability. So we'll talk later about specifically this certification in other video, okay? Because each of them I will have one video, but let's take the overview like I said. AWS Certified Developer Associate. This certification kind of provides IT professionals with code level knowledge and understanding for designing, developing, and maintaining AWS applications. In an age where all thoughts, information, and documented process are available on the internet, there is no reason you can't acquire the relevant skills yourself and not have to work directly with them. So, does having work experience in a company helps? I am absolutely not here to debate that actually having a few years of experience working in the cloud or even with IT with a company will get you a better job than the one you already might have. However, in this video, I want to talk to you about what it takes to land your first job working with cloud computing, having relevant certifications so you can build your skills much faster. So let's look at some strategy you can employ for just a few hours a day that you will over time get you where you want to be, okay? Okay, so use free and or paid courses. When you think about dedicating time to a course or platform that will help train your skills to pass exams, make sure it includes all three of the following, okay? The first is lecture to introduce you to topics and finer details, hands-on labs to guide you on how to actually do things you learn about. Second, challenges to give you a sandbox with a set of problems to solve on your own. This is an invaluable way to gain your own experience through trial and error. A quick Google or YouTube search for how to pass AWS certifications, exams, or what you need to know about some exam, you find countless results. So, the third and not less important, as with anything else, some platforms will be better than others. So the free option is always good because if you are new, I would start there to figure out what you like and what niche you want to break into. However, if you already have some experience, You really need to consider more personalized training through a paid option. But if you don't want to spend your money, it's not a problem. You should start going to, for example, AWS certification website, download the papers that they have, white papers. You can start digging for YouTube videos for the reinvent conference, because they kind of really helped me, and you can start there. So accept that you never know everything and specialize yourself. When you try to understand how many different cloud computing services there are, the nuances of them all, and the endless combinations you can do with them, it gets a little overwhelming. So consider focusing on a specific area and becoming as proficient in it as possible. Not only you will learn more and become a subject matter expert, but since you are so well versed in a specific area, security for example, as myself, you'll be much more valuable to organizations. After all, when you apply to work for an organization, you will likely be working in a certain field or with a certain technology most of the time. If over time you want to go down the path of earning all the AWS certification, be my guest, but be prepared for this process to take years. The goal here is to get a job working in the cloud so you can get real world experience as quickly as possible and start becoming a seasoned professional with a very good salary. So, intentionally take some time off. Cloud computing is not as simple as 1 plus 1 is 2. There are too many complexities to try to understand and commit to memory. Do you know how to efficiently deploy different database services across, for example, multiple regions, or how to define account-wide control policies of services within an organization? It is important to let yourself recharge. The mind was not made to be a machine. So that's why we have computers working for us, because our minds are not error free, fatigue proof machines, and so on. So the cloud's not going anywhere, and you need to avoid having a scarcity mindset. In other words, always remember that there will always be opportunities for you to take on, and there will always be more companies and positions to apply for and work for with very good salaries. The point here of Peakside channel is to help you achieve $10,000 per month in cloud computing with certifications. So take a break from your work days, and a few times a year put something on your calendar that you can look forward to and motivate you to work harder. Personally, I spent the month of February because of carnival themes and of course everything here in Brazil. But every year in February I take a week or two on vacation to recharge and come back ready to go. So try to read as much as possible. Try to align your knowledge to the IT certification, because when we go to IT certifications, uh, when we align that with your career, we can go with good employment. Okay, so why it is worth passing an IT certification for 2023? So now that you understand the different types of AWS certifications, you are probably wondering whether any of them are worthy doing in these challenging times. So below, we will talk in the following reasons. We'll be talking about why AWS certifications are super important in these next years. So first, cloud computing experience is essential for IT professionals. One of the main reasons AWS certifications are worthwhile is because cloud computing is inevitable for IT specialists. Breakthrough technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning are driving industry to the cloud. So, according to Forbes, most IT professionals believe these cutting edge technologies play a significant role in the adoption of cloud computing. So, gaining experience in cloud computing, especially in AWS services, is a necessity for IT specialists today and for the foreseeable future. So, if you want to gain a competitive advantage and stand out from the crowd, you cannot ignore AWS certifications. Imagine the demand for AWS skills is outpacing supply. So, finding people with cloud computing skills has become difficult for employees around the world. According to a recent report, around 60% of cloud computing jobs posting requires AWS related skills. So these numbers indicate that AWS skills and knowledge are in high demand and will continue to be in the future. Learning AWS is therefore one of the best ways to advance your career and ensure that you get a valuable job at your dream company and with a very good salary. AWS is widely used in cloud adoption. So another reason why you should start your cloud computing journey with AWS is that AWS controls about a third of the infrastructure as a service market. That's more than the next two providers, Google Cloud Platform and Microsoft Azure combined. So, if this trend continues, which experts believe it will, we'll be likely to see exponential growth in AWS for the years to come. So, you don't have to rush, but if you want to rush, you'll be in a good place. Therefore, earning an AWS certification is the safe career choice for IT professionals and those looking to expand their business and skills on this highly regarded platform and a very promising career. There is an increase in migration from the cloud to AWS. SMBs as well, established organizations across all industry sectors are increasingly moving to the cloud. For example, Cisco projects that global data center IP traffic will reach 20 zettabytes by the end of 2022. That's translated to about 1.7 zettabytes per month. In addition, the worldwide market for public services is expected to reach 70% more. So, massive corporate migration doesn't come without its fair share of challenges. To solve them, there is a pressing need for professional and customized solutions. This has led to an increased demand for cloud specialists who can help companies smooth the transition from conventional IT infrastructure to the cloud. So, in-depth knowledge and know-how of cloud platforms, especially AWS, has become a valuable asset for organizations across all industry, and this is one of the reasons why you should consider an AWS certification today. Certification validates credibility and experience. Trust, credibility, and experience are significant factors when it comes to providing value to potential clients and employers. These are the factors that help AWS professionals excel and build lasting relationships. A great way to establish credibility, trust, and experience is to produce a certificate that shows you have the skills in a specific area. By holding AWS certifications, professionals tell their clients and potential employers that they have undergone rigorous training and have the ability to successfully implement the given tasks. So imagine yourself, you are saying that you have done some Udemy course or some other course, but you don't have the certificate that attest that show them that you can really do the things. When we go through a test, a certification, and you invest time, you invest money to do this test, you kind of show yourself to the employees that you are really committed to your career, that you are really committed on learning something. So with proof of experience, there's no reason you can land a lucrative job with your dream organization. Don't make the mistake of overlooking the importance of AWS certifications. Remember, AWS skills are very well compensated. Individuals with AWS certifications top to the list of highest paid professional. Many AWS jobs offer, for example, a monthly five-figure salary. Like I said, 10,000, even $15,000. It will depend on you. That's why I'd say start with the cloud practitioner and move to the all three associates, and then you can choose which path to go. And as you think about improving your skills in these challenging times, choose the AWS certification path you want to take, find great AWS certification training courses, study hard, and pass the exam, and you too can become an expert in cloud computing. So, if you want to start for somewhere, I should recommend you to start from this site, AWS certification. Here we can find, for example, the certification exam guides and details. So we can choose, for example, Cloud Practitioner. Then we go directly to the page AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. This is where you should start. You can, of course, see the information here. It's a fundamental level. The length is 90 minutes to complete. The cost is $100. And of course, visit the exam pricing for additional information. The format, 65 questions, either multiple choice or multiple response. You can do this with person view and PCI, testing center or online proctored exam. So remember the days that they put some notes and some information here. Languages offered. This exam is offered with the following languages: English, French, German, Indonesian, and so many others. Where you should start? Download the exam guide and download the sample questions. With the exam guide, you have plenty of information of what the exam will kind of question you and the content in this exam. Also, review sample questions that demonstrate the format of the questions. So this is a very good way to start, okay? And one other thing is also go to documentations for the product. This is the I think, in my opinion, the central point to start with here the documentation from the provider. Okay, so we can check here to view all the documentations from each product, but those are highly demanded. So when we go to the blog AWS training and certification, we have the latest news also here. And let me check here by use case ebooks. We have here well architecture. Be sure to understand the AWS well architecture framework. So this is the best practice designed from AWS for you to understand all the pillars that you need to have for your exam and for your career. So this language is not so deeply technical, so you should start by here too. This is a very good way to start. And of course, let me check here where we can find the white papers. I'm not seeing right here, so let me put here white paper here. White papers and guides. This is a very good repository. Oh, it's open. It's open. No, it's not open. White papers. Okay, let me check here. Okay, white papers and guides. So this is, I think, the most valuable asset that you should start with without charges. So it's from AWS, and I think it's a very good place to start. So start with here white papers, and for example, compute. We can have, for example, reliability pillar, AWS well architecture framework, operational. See, we need to start with the well architecture framework. Last update October 2022. So this is very, very good. I started reading the AWS well architecture framework as well as the security pillar. And after that, you should take a look at the reinvent videos. So when we go to reinvent videos, it's the AWS event. So you can take a look here at everything about AWS. So when we go to videos, lives, playlists, the community, and everything else. So you should always take a look at this, but do not go to too many subjects at the same time. That's why you should start with the exam guide. When we start with the exam guide, you can be sure about the introduction about the exam, what the exam will validate. So this is the basic steps for you to go through. and what is on the scope, what is not on the scope, and what I think is most important here, the outline of the exam. So you have the cloud concept, security and compliance, technology and billing and pricing. So take a look. Most of the exam is about cloud concept and technology as itself. So it's not that difficult. You need to understand what we have been talking on this OPEX, CAPEX, pay as you go, the model of cloud computing. So it's not that difficult. On later videos, I'll be talking about the details about the cloud practitioner exam, the other exams, of course, the security exam. So you can start right here to gain your experience, and of course, free tier. What free tier is all about? You can start using AWS for 12 months for free. And of course, there are also tiers that do not expire. So take a look at this. You can use 5 gigabytes of AWS Amazon S3. You can use 750 hours of Amazon EC2. So if you want to start with something, start with the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. Sign in for your free tier account. It's simple. You can sign up and activate today. I won't do because I already have an account, but you can do this with your prepaid credit card. And after that, take a look at the AWS white papers and guide. I suggest you start with the AWS Well Architecture Framework and pay really good attention to the salaries, the job posting, and how to start your studying. Try to set the time, for example, in the morning or in the afternoon or even in the evening for you to start studying for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then you should go to 1 hour, an hour and a half every day. If you are not used to study every day, try to comply and commit with at least 30 minutes. Start reading the white papers, download this to your cell phone, to your iPad, or even to your Kindle device to start studying, because it's well worth it. I have been doing IT certification since 2001. It gave me lots of good opportunities, very good project. And when I started studying cloud computing in 2015, and then in the past 5 years, 2016 to 2017, specifically studying for cloud security, my life has changed a lot. Good opportunities and good projects, and of course I learned a lot about the whole environment of cloud computing, and it's helped me a lot. And this is why I am doing these videos, to help you find your place on the world with IT, with cloud computing, and of course through cloud certifications, through a way to prove yourself, speeding up your curving knowledge and speeding up your time to market, so you can have a good salary on your way. So, just a final reminder here. I believe certifications are useful even without hands-on experience, but it's more about how much you learn as you prepare for the certification. The goal of getting certified makes you want to know the topics in depth, not just for to put in AWS certifications on your resume. The desire to pass the exam will make you visit various topics and try to test, just like I show you several resources that you have at your disposal, like white papers, like the free tier, and so on. So this helped me to find out more about a certain AWS service, and will certainly help you. So soon we'll learn not only the services that there are useful for certification, but also for your day-to-day work. So this is how we connect what you study, what you test, on how the employees will kind of ask you on some interview, and of course will align with your daily basis needs for your job. So Imagine a useful guide for you to learning, practice, and even obtain an international certificate from the manufacturer, from the vendor that attests that your knowledge and experience. Because if you pass our certification, you have this on your hand and you put that on your resume. Of course, this will stand you out on the crowd, and the human resources, the recruiter, they will take a look at you differently. So remember, AWS is the leading cloud provider according to Gartner Magic Quadrant, and they dominate the global cloud infrastructure. And they have a market share that is equivalent to the other cloud provider combined. So, with that in mind, you need to understand that you have, of course, a very good career in front of you. You have plenty of opportunities, so don't lose it. Start studying right now because uh, remember, you can achieve this salary. It's achievable. And the first question that will come to your head, it's certification really necessary? The short answer is yes. And the long answer will be yes, of course, because this is what I am telling you. It's what happened to me. So if you start Googling right now about IT certifications and high demand salary and high demand skills, you find that cloud certifications is on top priority. So remember that. And if you have any doubts, any comment, please feel free to reach me. Have a nice day.